Hello Taurus, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Taurus, this is going to be your December 2025 read. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node placements. Cross Watcher, if you're here, welcome as well. Discern the messages accordingly, right? So Taurus, with that, let's see what's going on in the month of December for you. Personal reads are open and available. That info is found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. You can also join channel memberships through that description box as well. The link is there. And don't forget to join us on Discord under Path of Enlightenment Tarot. Okay, so with that, activate an exploration. Taurus, what are you getting your hands into is what I hear from Spirit. What are you getting your hands into? So let's see what's going on here. For Taurus in the month of December 2025, please, Spirit. For Taurus, Spirit goes ruled by Venus, so maybe dropping into the heart space a little bit, hopefully. For Taurus, Neptune vision. Taurus, I feel like December might kind of break you open a little bit here for some reason with this vision card. Journey, yeah. This is kind of getting real with what you want for yourself. This is, you know, I keep getting this feeling around like daggers. Some people may not be happy with you at this time. But it's also part of your journey and your process. And there you are, cultivate. The way you're going about things in the month of December could be very unlike the Hierophant and leaning in towards the unconventional, right? The Hierophant being your card in the major arcanas. You may feel like you've got everybody coming at you from every direction and you're kind of very firm in, this is what I see for myself. This is what I know I need to do for myself. Maybe this worked for you, but this doesn't work for me. So you could be in a space where you're defending your beliefs versus maybe following along with everybody else, you know. So let's see. Spirit for Taurus in the month of December. Reconcile. You're trying to find understanding with certain people. It isn't for a lack of effort here, Taurus. There's some Spirit's calling it mincing of words. Maybe this is happening now as we speak through Mercury retrograde, and even at November 29th, the retrograde is still going to linger right as it goes direct. But it's kind of like you remember doing something a certain way, maybe on someone else's terms, and how it didn't work out for your benefit, and it was something that you had to walk away from. So it's like, I do feel like your boundaries could be being pushed, but you have optimism and hope that I don't think you're fully expressing what's going on mentally for you, like how other people's words or their position on things that you're doing really affects you. You're not really voicing that. It's something that, you know, it's almost like it creeps in at night in your later thoughts, you know, when you're laying there and there's nothing going on, and it makes you feel a little concerned with what really does come of the things that you're feeling drawn to or hopeful for. But it's like, I know my desire in this is to do X, Y, and Z, but not everybody is on board with what you're doing. And I do think you're trying to repair. I do think you're trying to see it from other people's perspectives. I do feel like you're leaning into something or on someone. Eight of Wands comes up. That came out for Aries as well. But you're like, I just want to push past what's happening. Somebody could be traveling to see you as well. What else on this reconcile for Taurus? Six of Swords, 2 cards of movement, 2 cards of travel there, 3 of Pentacles. You could be reconnecting with somebody that they understand where you're coming from. They understand your position. It's like, hey, Taurus, I've been there, I've done that. Let me carry along on this journey with you, because I do understand how your truth could, you know, ruffle some feathers, make other people feel distant from you. They're trying to implement their beliefs, their systems. You have certain people, I want to say for maybe just a couple of you, be careful if that person you're trying to reconcile with, or they're trying to reconcile with you, comes from the long distance past. This might even be like a parent of a child that you share with somebody, right? You're needing to be cautious around that, because the reconciliation to that, it feels transactional. It feels like I'm going to get a separate card on this. I don't fully trust their reasoning. If this is somebody, and you will know if they've evolved or haven't evolved, are they just trying to find an ally in their own misery? It could be somebody who tends to do really well for a while, and then they kind of fall off, and then they kind of return back to this higher state of self. They lack consistency. Okay, they lack consistency. So conclusion, yeah, you know how that old story goes, obedience and restrictions with this person. Now for others of you, 212, so the 12/12 could be important, December 12th. If this is a person that's in their higher vibrational state that's supporting Taurus, they're coming from this from they're trying to support you. They see, I don't want to say that you've been picked on, right? But they see how it seems to be unfair that somebody is not open to your viewpoint on something, and you are standing firm in that. And they're like, listen, you know, I've got your back, Taurus. I understand where you're coming from in this. I've been there, done that myself. Let me help you navigate through some turmoil here. And they're being very direct about, you know, kind of helping you move and separate yourself from the ideas or the uncertainty when, you know, you feel kind of like all the arrows are coming at you, right? The Eight of Wands, they're all being pointed towards you. It's like finger pointing kind of thing. There's a lot of that kind of energy. Like I said, it's like daggers almost. You see the Neptune card there. You even see with the separation card, all the prickly points there on the separation of the cactus, and then you've got the Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of things coming towards you that may feel extremely uncomfortable, but someone here is helping to navigate you past that, because I'm going to say they see it your way. They're like, listen, just be in the moment. Feel your way through this. You've got options. Don't let someone tell you this is the only way of doing things. Again, like the idea of Taurus, you being very unconventional versus societal, you know, society norms or conditioning, and pushing past that. And I do think you find an ally in whatever that is. So this photography card, this photos, memories, souvenirs, what is that about? I would say past experience, and here comes the Six of Cups. These could be old soul contracts, Taurus, that are making you rethink, you know, life's purpose, life's direction, and there comes the Hierophant. It's the old way, right? It is the old way of doing things. It is the old way of being in a tower. Again, realizing, like, this is just solidifying everything I've already said. That doesn't work for you. And you're finally kind of standing up for yourself in a sense of, nobody gets to tell me how I'm supposed to do this, because whatever this is for you, Taurus, is something that is specifically meant for your spirit, your soul to align to, not for someone else to say, why would you do that? Well, because it works for me. And I feel like you are creating a tower moment. You could be very much leaning into your opposite of Scorpio. They're good at causing disruptions when they want to. So this Six of Cups spirit for Taurus, mirror, self-reflecting. You're looking back on the past and realizing how living under those norms or societies, you know, needing to run, maybe, you know, it's when you think about when we start this healing journey or spiritual journey, whatever you want to refer to it as, like, we have to learn about what it is that we fear the most. And through that fear, we understand where wounds have come from, why things have happened the way they have. You're really diving deep to understand the reflection of what that upbringing or lifestyle has been and how it's led you to continue to run from things that have not served you. You know, we have to stand and face our fears. We have to be strong in order to heal, you know, no matter what the circumstances are, whether it's at the hands of someone else or even ourselves, realizing that maybe that trauma or that situation maybe wasn't inflicted on us even by ourselves. And even if it has been, it's still something that we now have to face and heal. And I do think that you're taking a unconventional approach to, you know, doing things. And I'm just going to say, for simple, yeah, you're just trying to find your happiness in this. And you're going to have to assert boundaries in order to do that. It's like, I don't know, let's just say, you know, we'll just use Ozempic as, you know, and anybody who's used it, no shade there. But if we look at like the big pharma aspect of things, there's like, here's a pill for this, there's a cure for that. Everyone's like, just do this because this is what I did and it worked for me. And you're like, you know what, that's not for me. I'm going to diet and exercise and live at the gym. I'm going to, you know, take the weight off that way. You could feel pressurized. It's kind of like peer pressure. Do it this way, Taurus. And you're like, no, like doing it on those terms is not, it's not for me. I have to find my own happiness. I have to find my own peace here. And doing it that way, again, is not for you at this time. Give me more on this Hierophant, please, Spirit. Hammer. You're working on repairing your belief system around what happiness is. And I feel like for some of you, you've had something going on that's been very trying, very difficult, emotionally probably taxing in some way, but you've been very mind over heart when it comes to this. And continue, you know, it's like continuing to do something the same way and getting the same results. It's the definition of insanity. So you're trying to find different ways of handling the things that create tower moments in your life, or the way that they, you know, keep you stuck, stagnant, you know, feeling troubled or worried about certain things. You're just changing the way that it's like, there's this idea of smoothing things out. If there's been friction, you are trying to keep the peace, you are trying to smooth things over, but this time around it will not be at the expense of yourself. Aries had something a little similar to the boundaries aspect, and for you in this, it is a reflection to, it's like if you guys have had, you know, dare I say this, if you've had like a drug addiction and they're like, well, the standard is you have to do it this way. Not everything is a one size fits all, right? And you're like, I'm going to take this approach this time because I did, you know, X, Y, and Z in the past. And I end up back where I started from every time. It's like you're trying to take a different route, an unconventional route, because you're sick of dealing with the same shit. And everybody's looking at you going, you're doing it wrong. Have they been in your shoes? Because if not, do they have the right to pass judgment? No. So I'm going to say kudos to you for trying something new here. You know, you're taking a different approach. This hope card for Taurus in the month, the star, healing. You know that this is going to lead you to some place that you can alchemize. And I said about you leaning into Scorpio, when you look at the star, 1 foot is on the land, Taurus, that's you, earth energy. 1 foot in the water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energy. You're hopeful that this is going to lead to a deeper sense of healing, a deeper sense of inspiration. And honestly, Taurus, I think you're right. When I look at this, the way that it's coming out so far, Knight of Wands. I do think you're doing it right. This is you empowering yourself and going, I would say don't rush too fast. Don't go too hard, too fast, too crazy to prove a point. Take your time with it. This Knight of Wands wants to just rush in and go, let me tell you why. You know, let me show you why you're wrong. Don't be confrontational about whatever this is, but do, Emperor, stand in your power and make the next best right choice for you versus necessarily maybe what others think is what you're supposed to do. I do think that in the long term, this is truly going to benefit you. Passion in the reverse, it flopped out in the reverse. It's like, you know, it's like having people in your life that are buzzkills. They want to, you know, you finally feel like, you know, when you empower yourself, let's try it from this perspective. When you empower yourself to do the next best thing for you, people will talk you out of that, right? Because if you empower yourself, that means you're taking control, you're asserting yourself in your life. People who abuse your boundaries, or they think that you fit into this particular box, or, you know, you're supposed to do it this way, Taurus, because when you do, this is how it benefits me, right? It makes me, you know, I'm going to tell you too, some of you have really dealt with probably family members or even relationships that have enjoyed you being codependent, where they kind of come in with a savior complex. Like Taurus, I'm going to say to you, for the first time, potentially for some of you, you don't need saving. You need to save yourself. And I think that's part of this, is kind of breaking this, call it a stigma of what other people's roles have been in your life, and going, listen, I don't need you to come in and rescue me. I don't need to call you the next time I have a problem. Like, I need to figure this out for myself. And you're trying to strip away a codependency in this. And if you do, maybe someone feels like they're not needed as much. So then you're stripping them away of who they see themselves as. They have one less person to take care of, right? Or something to that effect. You're stripping away what they think they're supposed to be doing, versus all you need them to do is just support you in what you're leaning in towards. So it's a big transitional phase for you with this. And I think you're slowly coming into your own on this. You're not letting the desire of quick fix, pardon me, excuse me, be the thing that pushes you forward. Instead, you're going, let me do this for myself. Let me do this on my own. I want to learn through this experience. I don't need you to fix me. I don't need you to save me. I don't need you to do X, Y, and Z. You are really trying to break a codependent cycle for yourself. And it's really nice to see this. But it doesn't mean that along the way, Taurus, you're not going to have these moments at night when you're like, well, what if I do fail? What if they're right? What if this? What if that? What if they, disown me? What if they walk away and I never have them in my life again? They have to figure that out, right? They have to learn to respect your boundaries. They have to learn to respect you for where you are and why you're trying to take this journey for yourself, because you're trying to do it for yourself. There's something here about the independence of, and you growing and learning as a result of that. It's a really cool energy that you're in, Taurus. I like this. Do carry forward. Do carry forward. Our simple message. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So that takes us to, that would have been, why is my brain not working? Leo. That would have been back in Leo season. So let's see. Something could have started to shift around then, specifically. Emotions are running high, super moon, and look at the bigger picture. You are seeing it, Taurus, through a bigger picture. Other people could be very narrow focused and sighted on this situation at hand, but I think you know that, your drive, that Knight of Wands, is to like, I'm going to show you what I can do. So you're kind of being amped up in that way of that resistance. But I think the resistance that you're using is for your betterment, instead of being a super stubborn person that you can be, right? As a fixed sign, fellow fixed sign here, so no judgment there. Full moon in Sag too, and that'll be in Gemini season. So you are going through a very unique cycle here, but the purple is about the loyalty to yourself, Spirit is saying. So carry forward, do you, because what's meant for you will always be, and those that aren't supposed to be a part of it won't be. Let them pass their judgments. So, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. I hope December is a fantastic month for you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're definitely seeing something that others are not. Personal reads are open and available. Info, again, is in the description box below. I'd love to hear from you. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care and happy Thanksgiving. See you soon.